Alright guys, hey guys, it's Hansen here. So I just finished editing the video and I thought I would love to give you guys an insight of how I learn any solo at all and kind of go through the parts one by one so that you guys can learn the solo as well. So right off the bat, the first tips that I'm gonna give you is this simple thing. Do you love this solo, or do you love anything at all, anything that you want to learn down the line? The reason for that is you will be forgiven to realize how many people doesn't actually love what they're doing or doesn't have any passion towards what they're doing. They just simply do what other people tell them to do, right? This solo's damn great, let's do it together, right? And I think that humans are very emotional beings, and too many times we let our emotion lead our logical thinking. So yes, sometimes you do have to do what's right. Regarding anything else, it's the same. If you don't like science, don't be an engineer, don't be a physicist, right? If you don't love saving lives, don't be a doctor, right? Because you will be forgiven to know that how much inefficient you will be when you're doing something you don't love, right? Even though you can do it, even though you can be very good at it, but it would take so much time, so much effort to bring yourself to do it. And compared to other people who love them already, they don't have to put so much effort into making themselves do it. They're already doing it. And that's a very important point for you to know, is that whether you love this or you don't love this. Alright, I think we should start with our first leg. Alright, so the first run of this ridiculous solo is this. Okay, be reminded that this song is entirely in C, or some people would like to say A minor, right? Okay, I would love to explain everything in C major because that's how I grew up. I mostly learn everything in major key. So for me to transition into a minor, it takes a little bit of time. You get my point. The first run actually starts off in C major 7. And then the next one is actually F major triad with augmented fourth. Actually, from this point onward, he's just playing scales. And then the next one is this. And then the next one is... the whole round will be... the way he do it and the way I do it, the same way, is he use economic picking. So... okay, you can see that the pick is like a waterfall that goes down like this. If you don't know what is economic picking, just go up and look on YouTube. Everybody's talking about it. That's the skill that Yngwie Malmsteen came up with, if I'm not mistaken. After that, he went into a band. What I always do with bands is let the guitar sing for a little bit. And you can hear that the delay and the reverb is helping it. It's like screaming, right? Right after you release the band, you go into the sort of like a Yngwie Malmsteen licks, but simplified. The next one is kind of hard because it's unconventional. So basically, you just tap on the G string, slide down, and then tap. Right? So the whole thing is... the next bit is where everybody screamed and shouted and their jaws fell on the floor. Is this lane. can't do it fast anymore because I can only do what I do now. Whatever the yesterday me do, he can do it. I don't think I can do it anymore. So it's like something like that. So it's actually a F power chord, which is F and F's fifth. So this is the F, fifth, F, fifth. So it's actually FC. Right? It's a 7-note combination. The next one you're looking at is this A minor arpeggio with the fifth bring down to the fourth, if that makes sense. Right? Okay, rather that is like that. Whenever you do bends, you have to do that Nick Johnston thing where he brings the pickup to bridge just for the bend, right? So, I mean, it sings, but this one sings way more. It's like the guitar is screaming, right? Whenever you can bring your guitar to do something human-like, people can resonate with it, and I think that is very important aspects of a solo, right? The second tips I want to give you is divide and conquer. What it means is that there's two literal meaning. One is that whenever you see something, an issue or problem, or a project that you're coming up with, you understand the thing, and then you start dividing it and do it piece by piece, small piece by piece. That's a very important thing for all of your entire life. Do everything piece by piece. Don't do one lump sum. Don't do one big thing in a rush. It's gonna be unhealthy. It's gonna be inefficient, right? You learn small piece by piece every single day rather than learning everything in a day. That's what I mean. When I start learning this solo, the first day I only ever learned, and I stop. I went to sleep. I go to sleep. I watch YouTube videos, right? Every time I practice, it's like half an hour, but half an hour throughout the day, like that 2 or 3 practice session. Don't do everything in one shot. And another meaning is that philosophically implies is that nothing is really too hard for human, especially human-made stuff. No human will make something too hard for human to understand. The philosophy comes from actually scientists. Recently, they've been trying to come up with the equation that, to unify everything, all the understanding, all the knowledge into one unified equation. And I think that applies to everything in our world as well. Is that everything might seem confusing and all, but deep down everything, there's a philosophical explanation or source of that problem or whatsoever that's hiding deep down in everything. And what it means that nothing is really too hard for humans to understand. Well, except things from other dimension, but for things that are in our dimension, it's not really too hard to understand. And I think that what it implies is that when you do look at a solo that seems a little bit too hard, do give yourself, a relaxation. Just chill, admire the solo, and then start analyzing it. There's nothing too hard in there that you don't understand. I mean, it's 2021 right now. Everybody plays everything. There's Tosin Abasi that doing this stupid things, right? And there's Andre Nieri that's doing this stupid fingerstyle things, right? Everybody pretty much use guitar in everything that it could do. So there's nothing too fancy that you don't know what it's doing. And back in the day, like the greats like John Petrucci, he specifically mentioned that you would just sit in front of the radio and slowly down the cassette and learn. Nowadays we have YouTube, we have our eyes to see as well. So there's really nothing too difficult that will hold you back anymore. The YouTube has 0.5 function, so there's nothing too hard for you, right? And that's really important for you to know, is that once you calm down, you can look at the solo again and try to analyze what is going on. So what I did is, when I saw a pick, I said, okay, that must be economy picking. You can't do it with finger, right? And then I saw he switched back to finger, and I'll be like, okay, that's Andre Nieri style. The next part, okay, if you don't understand why I'm doing that, slow down. This is very simple, okay? The one I'm trying to explain is the next one. I still cannot do this clean, right? But this, doesn't it remind you about Nick Johnston, right? It sounds like Nick Johnston. So don't stand back and resist, right? Give yourself information, relate it to something else that you know. Okay, this is sweep picking. This is fingerstyle picking like in Andre Nieri, all right? This is Nick Johnston thing, right? Try to relate this solo to something else. Okay, this part is like Nick Johnston, as I said. Okay, if you do want to learn it, slow the video down and then you'll be able to learn it. But I'll explain very, very swiftly, right? Because I spent too much time talking about tips, right? So the first thing first, Nick Johnston run is this. It's a 6-note combination that essentially is just right. Is this thing, but play in a box. So right. First thing first, he go into this 3, 4, 5. No, actually it's 2. It's actually 2, 3, 4 of C major. And then from there on out is Nick Johnston then. And then from here there's a chromatic run. And then Nick Johnston again. And then here there's an A major arpeggio triads that run down. And then a passing note to this note. From there is Nick Johnston to the end. And then he ends on actually a melodic minor patterns. So here. Okay. And then ends on that big E, right? So the whole thing is okay, as you can see, I'm using hybrid picking here. Okay, from there on out, whatever I did in the video is actually just improvisation, right? So I actually improvise on the spot, so it's very unclean, I understand. Yeah. Okay, that will be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you sat through my uncle long 15-minute explanation. There's a lot more tips that I would like to share, but I'll see you next time. I'll share next time. See you.